Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. I am Dana the Doula, and I am so excited to be bringing you finally another episode of Mom Friend Energy. Today, I have someone special. Her name is Ariane. She is the founder of Mamoumaternity. She's also special to me because she is a fellow Mama Glow doula. So everyone, welcome Ariane to Mom Friend Energy.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing for us moms and creating a channel where we feel seen. This seems like a safe space. I also had amazing conversations with you prior that lasted almost 2 hours, girl. But you know, sometimes when you connect with another mom that is authentic and genuine and have a passion, it's just very easy for time to pass, you know?
Absolutely. I didn't realize it was almost 2 hours.
Girl, it was we started at 11. I think we got off the call like 12:40. Just yapping it up.
Sounds about right. Okay. Well, yes. So we spoke last week, really a little bit of everything, just about everything. But our initial connection, I always am giving a shout out to Nikki, who is in your neck of the woods up there in Brooklyn. Nikki is my TikTok friend. And whenever Nikki sees anything, she will tag me or she'll send it to me. So she came across one of your posts.
Yes.
Where you talked about your brand, which we love. And I want to get all into it. And she was like, I think you should know Dana the Doula. So as soon as I saw you, I went on your profile and I was like, oh, she is Mama Glow. She is like all the things. So I immediately sent you a message and then it just went from there. So, and here we are. 2 hours later.
Right. It was, thank you so much for like taking the time out to reach out. You know, I feel like now that I am stepping into entrepreneurship, it's really important to connect and align yourself with the right people. But sometimes that can be a little bit daunting. It's kind of like shooting your shot, right? It's like, should I shoot my shot? Is she going to get back to me? But when I also looked at your page, I was so inspired, girl. I'm like, I love what she's doing. And she's also a doula sib, you know, and it's just that connection starts there, right? And I love moms. I love everything motherhood, but I do love moms. I feel like we sometimes can be forgotten about with everything that's happening in the world and just in our lives. Like we are sometimes the last people to be thought about. So when I see you and your platform and you putting that at the forefront, I think that is such an amazing thing. And I would love to be a part of anything that you're doing. And I told you this before. I think that it's really great. And we need to continue to connect. This is a village, right? And community. Yes. So we could continue to create that on our own. So I
agree. Mm-hmm. And to your point, moms, it seems like we always get the last because that is how a lot of us have been conditioned. That story of the self-sacrificing mom who, you know, went without so that everybody else could have. We are trying to change the narrative because in the long run, it does not benefit anyone to have mothers who are really doing everything from empty cups. So the whole purpose of this and the connections and the conversations is to serve as a reminder that you have to be unapologetic. You have to put yourself first. You have to, even if your best is not at the same level every day, but you have to do the best for yourself. And it not only will serve you better, but it also serves as an example to really, as we're both girl moms too.
Yes.
To end this cycle, I am my daughter's first example of a woman, of womanhood, of motherhood. So all these like bad examples and you know, like toxic behaviors it has to stop somewhere.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, as you're speaking and just talking about, you know, how we've been conditioned to do everything for our children and put ourselves last. I think about like our grandparents, right? And especially our grandmothers, like during their time, like they were really taught to put everyone before them. And a lot of baby boomers or people within generations before that, a lot of the women had mental breakdowns. Did you realize, like, hearing stories and you're like, oh wait, grandma had a mental breakdown and she was placed in a hospital for like a week? I don't think that we really processed that, right? Could you imagine having so many children, you feeding all the children, you being everything for everyone except for yourself? I only have one. And I come home some days and I'm like, like, you know, right? And so with that being said, like my grandmother, I have 5 daughters. So her daughters was the complete opposite. Like my aunts and my mom, they live life like it's golden. Like I'm making my time. I'm being selfish. I have boundaries. And it's funny because we say that these grandmas nowadays, you got to like call them before you drop the kids off, right? You can't just like drop them off where we were just getting dropped off because they learn from their parents. of this is not something that I want to do. So like back to your point, our daughters are watching us. And Taylor my daughter name is Taylor. She's 6 years old. She loves beauty and spa and all these things. And I'm like, where did you get that from? But I get it. Like some days she's like, Mommy, like, can we get our nails done? And I'm like, I just want to lay on this couch. But I'm like, you know what? I'll paint your nails and your toes. You could do mine. She's like, we could do face masks. And I'm like, yeah, let's do face masks. But it's a reminder, right? To like, I feel like she's here. She came in this world to remind me I also have to put myself first. Like, Mommy, these are the things you said you was going to do it. So we do serve as a reminder for them. And, and it goes on. It continues to go on throughout generations. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So tell us about, so we'll get into like your journey of becoming a doula, but I really want to talk about your brand and how it came to be. I know you have a background in fashion and retail, but what was the catalyst to help you start this maternity wear brand?
Yes, thank you so much for asking that question. I thought about the brand in 2021. I had my daughter in 2019. And during the time of my pregnancy, like as you said before, I do have a background in fashion design, but I also worked in fashion retail as an area visual manager for many years. But I never found any good maternity clothing. I've always, whenever I went into a store, I always went up a size because I knew that afterwards I would still wear these pieces. I would just wear oversized and like swag it out and make it, vibey, like my style. So I always went up in sizes, and I started to notice that other women that was pregnant, either within the organization, would say like, can you help me? Can you help me put something together? Like, does this look good? And after a while, I was like, okay, how can I merge something that I love that will also support women who are expecting? And I started to go through other maternity brands. And what I started to realize is that there wasn't any representation, right? Or diversity. And it was either like a one-size model, maybe just like with the small bump. But when you're pregnant, women come in all different shapes and sizes. And I told you this before, and I was really transparent. Before I was pregnant, I was 135 pounds. When I got pregnant, I went all the way up to 200 pounds. I've never been 200 pounds. I was like, what is happening, right? But I still was making my clothes work for me. I was just, going up in sizes. And I'm like, when you're already pregnant, your body is forever, it's changing through 3 trimesters. And if I'm looking at a certain model in my mind, I'm thinking this is what I should look like. That is also that could start the postpartum depression before you even hit postpartum. So I just wanted women to feel beautiful in all their glory. And for women of color especially, to be represented in that. Like, you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be represented. You deserve all the things. And so the mantra that I had was, the product nurtures your personal style as you continue to glow and your body grow. Yes, and I named it mamoumaternity. My grandmother, we call her Mamu, and we call her Mamu because my grandmother's deaf. She's hearing impaired. Wow. And for some reason, Mommy just didn't stick, like she didn't hear it when her daughters would call her that. But the vibrations of Mamu, she heard that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we just all call her Mamu. She's our Mamu. And she supported with raising me earlier in my childhood. And her value stuck, So I was with my grandmother for such a long time, and she nurtured everybody. She was so nurturing. It was nothing that you can do that was wrong to her. And she's a woman of God, a true woman. So, I loved how she nurtured the family, and that's why I named it mamoumaternity. Like, I wanted to create legacy for her because she deserves it. Mm-hmm.
That's gorgeous. And while you're talking, I wonder, if you have any specific pieces or anything from the website or from your social media that we can kind of like have playing in the background so people can really get an idea of, the examples of the designs and the pieces. Because I think it's important. When I was pregnant in 2020.
Yes.
And thankfully we were on lockdown, thankfully, and also regrettably, because prior to becoming pregnant, I did think I was very cute. You know what I mean? Like I put it together. I was a fashion girl, but being in quarantine, never did I think I'd be that person that was just like walking around with Birkenstocks and socks every day. And
that's still a vibe. Come on, Mom.
It's still, I have not gotten out of it. I'm like, I need to go back to.
But it's still a vibe.
Yes. But, when I was looking at the maternity clothes, I was like, it just reminded me of like Little House on the Prairie. And no shade too, if that is your aesthetic and if that's what you like. I know people like the baby doll dresses. I know people like the frilly but to me, I don't like it. And it does not accentuate my body type. I am a very busty woman, right? So I think when it's like ruffles and all of that, I I feel crazy. I just don't like that. I don't like peasant tops and don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah. So finding things to wear when I did have to leave the house, like if I had to go to, in person into the office for meetings, or if I had to go to doctor's appointments, I don't want to just wear oversized t-shirts and biker shorts.
Right.
I still want to look cute.
Exactly.
And I was just like, this is not it. And those jeans with the like insert of the elastic in the front, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just won't wear pants. I'll just wear, so it was challenging to find cute things. It's either challenging to find cute things or find things that were affordable, because a lot of it is astronomically priced as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I wasn't planning on doing it again. So I'm like, well, I'm not just going to buy this.
Use that one and done.
We're done.
Yeah, I agree with you. And a lot of the pieces that we have. So what I normally do is capsule collections. So next week is actually going to make 1 year since I launched Mamoumaternity, November 25th.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And so I've it's been launches of capsule collection, like within each quarter. So it's really looking at the items, touching base with the manufacturers to create a cohesive collection. And either it's like 10 items and different colors, and then when the next season change, I'll update that. But I worked in an office setting too, so I completely get it. And a lot of the pieces are transitional. So it's like a lot of the pieces are, I want to say 90% of the pieces are transitional, so we don't snap back. That snapback culture is like, we get to that another time. But, like I have the adjusters on some of the products so that you can slowly start to see your progress if that is what you choose, right? But I completely agree. And I feel like the prices is really good prices. Like I definitely looked at my competitors, and I definitely thought me as a mom, and for other women that I'm really close with that are also moms, it's like some people can, right? But it's like, should I pay $100 for a pair of pants, like maternity pants, that I might not have another child, or I might have another child, but I might not even be this size anymore. So I completely understand. And I took all that into consideration when I was making and coming up with Mamoumaternity.
Yes, I wish I had it. I wish I had it then.
Yes, but for anybody who's watching, right?
Yes, of course. So I'm excited for you, and congratulations on 1 year of this journey of entrepreneurship, of following your passion and your dream and making it. I know we talked about it. I know how, I won't say difficult, but it's not for everybody, right? Everybody doesn't, either have the desire to be in this position, or just, it's a lot of fear that you have to overcome to keep going, and a lot of uncertainty. Yeah. So I'm sure your family and friends always tell you how proud of you they are, but let me just be, one of your first internet friends to just say congratulations on making it a year. So excited for you. So proud of you. And I know that it will just continue to grow.
I appreciate that. I'm like, from your mouth to God's ears. We have no choice, right? To continue to move forward.
Yes. And then me always being the creative collaborator that I am, I'm like, well, we gotta figure something to do together, like something.
Yeah,
right?
We have to. 100%.
So tell me about, because your doula process is a little bit newer, right? Like, so you already had the brand that you're working on, but then how did being a doula come into play?
It's seriously a spiritual calling. Sometimes I'm like, how I got here? No, but like I said, I knew with the maternity clothing line, I wanted women to feel seen, to feel like they deserve to be highlighted within their pregnancy. And I honestly think becoming a doula was truly a spiritual calling, because it wasn't something I've ever thought about before. And when I started to look into it, I said, oh, this is something I want to stand behind. And then last year I went to a lot of maternal health, for Black Maternal Health Week, I went to a couple of events in regards to that. So I went to the Mama Glow event that they had, Pap on Tap event that they had, and I sat in a couple of Zoom meetings. I was just blown away. It was a multitude of things that I was blown away with. One, that there is such a amazing community of advocates rallying around women of color that are expecting, that have been pregnant, that had went through traumatic experiences while being pregnant. I did not know that there was such a big community for us. I didn't know it. So I felt like, okay, Lord, I thought this, but you said, okay, I'm gonna show you this. Like I'm gonna show you something else. And signed up for Mama Glow. I had a great experience with Latham Thomas, because she taught the class, and she did such an amazing job teaching the class. And then you learn so much more about just what the granny midwives was doing, you know, and you learn about the practice of OBGYN and where that really, you know, came from. It's just so much. And I just, like I said, I know that I'm going down the right path. And I'm quite sure like you felt the same way with hearing some of this information. And it's like, now I can support us in a different way, you know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also always add to, because I come across a lot of women, a lot of Black women that say like, oh, I would love to do that. And my experience is different because I'm, you know, I feel my divine message too was like, you have to stop what you're doing and just focus on this full time. And I'm like, okay, God, if that is what you're telling me to do, I'm going to do it. But that is not for everybody. And not everybody has to, you know, this doesn't have to be your full-time career, but even just making yourself open to have, you know, people have in your community, whether it's your direct friends or family members or just anybody that you can educate, having that information, because what you learned about the history of, you know, the granny midwives and how this work of birth work, the origins of it is from Black and Indigenous people. There are practices that have been carried, you know, across the transatlantic slave journey from Africa that is still ingrained. We might not know the exact history or origins of it, but it is ours. It's our culture.
100%.
So to add on, you know, this modernization, Western civilization spin on it, and what's been taught and kind of what the perception is, it's unfortunate. I don't think that there is, you know, not space for both. Especially like, this is just our reality. It's where we live. It's how we live, right? So, but I tell women all the time, if you have a desire to be in this space, then you belong in the space. Doesn't have to be your full-time job. You know, it doesn't have to be you know, taking on a bunch of clients, but just being able to be a source of information and guidance for people. This week that we're talking, within the past few days, there have been 2 videos of unfortunate instances in this very country that we live in Texas and in Indiana, where it just highlights yet again the importance of advocacy for Black maternal health.
100%.
And why there is a crisis, because of bias, because of substandard care. So if it's on your heart, I guess this is just a message to anybody that's watching, but if it is on your heart to say, I want to do doula work, it doesn't have to be your full-time job, but, you know, being an advocate, being a birth educator, just being a pillar in the community, like how the granny midwives were, is so important, because we can't rely on society, the government, to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. So we have to be really armed with knowledge, and the right type of knowledge, not the knowledge that like stems from, you know, the sort of teachings that's like, oh, Black women have a higher pain tolerance than other races. Yeah. I saw a nurse on social media talking about that yesterday, that when she was, you know, in her clinicals, when she was like in school, that was actually something that was in her textbook, that Black people have higher pain tolerances.
This. And it's like, we do not. And nor were we ever given a chance to be entitled to our own pain, because somebody else projected what pain looked like for us.
Right.
And it's just really unfortunate. I mean, just seeing those videos over like the past weekend, I was completely disgusted. And furthermore said, this is the reason why I'm doing the work, you know, of advocacy and just being a birth worker, to continue to educate, to advocate alongside, you know, a client. And even if there are some moms that are, because, you know, some moms are on the fence about having a midwife or a doula. They like, I just have my OBGYN, which is great, because I had an amazing OBGYN. And after getting a doula certification, I said to myself, I also do wish I had a doula, just for that, not to say for the in-between phase, but when I had concerns, you know, I didn't always want to pick up my phone and call my OBGYN. Multitude of things, right? Nutrition, a soundboard, someone to just calm my inner spirit. I needed for someone to say, girl, cut it out, slow down, let's take some deep breaths. Remember, you have this baby inside of you. You've never been this person before, you know? And sometimes we need to know that we need that. We need to be nurtured while nurturing the baby within us. That's important, you know? And I think to have a doula, the right doula for you, the right match for you, that can help you set up your pregnancy for success. I'm like, how can we set new mothers up for success, how can we set mothers up for success? Because one experience may look completely different from the other when you have a village with you, and that's what I'm here for.
Right.
That's I'm like, how can I set people up for success, even with a little bit of education, But just going back to this weekend and those videos, it's like, where is 2025? It's not like it's 1908. How could something like this happen? How could I see someone, like I said, in pain and not, as a mother, feel compassionate or compelled to bring some urgency around her care? Now, how do you take a pregnant woman out of a hospital who is in active labor and have deliver a child within a truck? Like, how are we doing this? Because we're the only people that receive this type of treatment. It's disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. So I wanna kind of shift gears a little bit when we talk about the videos and the importance of why, because a lot of women have children, right? And it's like, but nothing about that experience for a lot of people compels women to say, now I in turn want to go back and be, a supporter, an advocate, a creator of a brand that, highlights the beauty of pregnancy, or being a doula. So what was it about your journey, your specific journey with your pregnancy and motherhood, that you felt like, now I want to, pay it forward and and continue to be a support and stay in the space for other women?
Yeah. Well, I've always been a nurturing spirit. I am the oldest daughter of 5 kids. So I've always supported with taking care of, right, and making sure that people were okay. And just within my work, I've always empowered and made sure that I inspired someone whenever we had a conversation. Like, when you walk out this room, you will feel motivated and inspired, to be the best version of yourself. And then how can I help you get there? That has always been my mantra through life, going back to my grandmother and my mother. I was there when both sisters had their children, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, push, very excited for them. Like, the baby right there. And then I was also there for 2 of my friends when they had their babies. So maybe, I don't know, the Lord was probably letting me see a glimpse of what could be, right? But after having my daughter, I gained another level of respect for mothers. I remember leaving the hospital, me and my husband was looking like, well, what do we do? What do we do?
Right.
And thank God that, I live close to family members, my mom and my sisters, and they gave me, some feedback. But my mother way of parenting is different, like from how I wanted to parent. Like, we continue to evolve, right? So I started to meet a lot of moms who did not have that village, or was at a complete, I really don't know what to do. Like, my child is coughing, like, do I give Tylenol or do I try something holistic? Or I'm not feeling good inside, and I am a problem solver. And yes. I also support too, where it's like, okay, you're not feeling good. What can we do? Let's take a walk around a park if you need to clear your head. And like I said, I started to have this idea of like, how can I show up for moms in a different way? Even if it's just like listening and being an ear, and giving advice when it is warranted. Right. Mm-hmm. And then full circle, I'm here. And I just have this fire in my belly to continue to support moms and show up for them when it's hard for them to show up for themselves, or let them see that you can be both. You could be a great mom and you could be you, right? You don't have to fade. And the fading of personality. You're like, who am I?
That's important. So identity is important.
100, and you lose it. Let's be honest. I lost my identity. I'm just now getting back to after 6 years. I don't have to be just what I think a mom should be, but I can be everything I want to be. I could be a mom. I could be goofy. I could be a wife. I could be a homegirl. You know what I mean? I could be everything. And I just want to be of support. That makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. It really does. Hence why I'm here inside of this work.
Yes. It's important, and it's also and another reason why I started having these conversations and inviting people to interview with me is a lot of times, like you said, putting ourselves on the back burner, and those sacrifices, a lot is lost in, like, the conversation will always be surrounding the kids and what the kids are doing and because childhood does go by very quickly. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they all go through their different phases, and it's worth talking about. Yeah. But you go through different phases of motherhood too, and it's almost like you really have to stay grounded in it, because it's true. You can look up one day and be like, okay, now these kids are gone, but are grown, but who am I? Who have I been through all of this? And like, I've lost so much of myself. I hear that all the time where women say, you know, I've lost so much of myself. I don't know who I am anymore. I've lost my identity.
Right.
So it's important, and, you know, not feeling like you should be isolated in your experiences. If you feel like, a lot of times I hear women say, I love my kids, but I do not enjoy being a mom. And
that's real.
And it's real. And you shouldn't feel guilty about it, because it's okay to say, I love my kids, but I don't enjoy being a mom. But that could be your season right now. But then when your kids are older and, you know, they're mature, and you can have certain conversations with them, or just enjoy the company of their time in different ways, then that might change. It's like, not only do I love my kids, I enjoy, you know, having older kids.
Yeah.
You know, I would say my least favorite era of motherhood has by far been potty training.
Girl.
So I'm so glad we're over that.
Yeah.
But, you know, everything, it doesn't get easier, just the challenges change. So that's always going to be changing, but it's so important that you maintain yourself throughout all of it, because it is going to take you through all types of loops if you are not grounded in it. Absolutely.
It's really important. And to be honest, it's like, I feel when I hear mothers say, I love my children, but I don't like being a mother, that is true. And sometimes that's really hard to hear, you know? And for me, sometimes it goes back to childhood. Like, what did you see? How were you raised, right? Were you raised a lot with around your mother, or were you raised a lot with other family members because your mother was out, like, you live her like what was going on? And I also think, like, if you're a type A personality, like, I am such a type A personality. I'm getting better now, child. After Taylor, I'm a type B. I don't know. I'm like, but I had such.
Because you're not in control. You can't control anything. I think it also has a lot to do with, too, like, what you saw as a mother, but also just like, overall, society is not very nice to mothers
at all. At all. You see where we go? Everything is expensive. Like, you go to a play space, you're paying like $75. Like, it's not. It is not nice to moms, and we are fully aware of that. But what I was going back to really quickly, like with the type A, I think that is to have a type A personality and be like, my child's gonna be like this. Your mind, like, when I have my baby, they taking a nap at this time.
Oh my gosh!
No, your child will rock your brain.
At one point,
I was like, I'm letting it go. People said that she would wake up every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. She was waking up every 45 minutes. I was like, oh, the people lied.
I played myself that same way too, where I was just like, oh yeah, you know, because again, and I talk about it on the channel all the time, of course, I am a doula that supports working moms prepare for maternity leave, postpartum, and the eventual return to work, because it's important to prepare for it. Absolutely. And not just go into it blindly. So I was so naive where, you know, they were like, well, tell us, you know, like, any times you want to block off meeting wise. And I just said, okay, well, you know, we just make sure I am able to eat lunch. Right. And then my assumption was, well, she'll just sleep while I'm in meetings. And the way we just like came out the gate with her being like, I'm up, I'm crying, right. You have to hold me, you know, like, it just was so overwhelming. And then this constant feeling of, I am failing right now. I'm doing such a terrible job. I'm constantly behind. And then I looked at, and even that one little boundary that I set was like, okay, well, I at least make sure that I have time to eat lunch. That kept getting crossed, because it's like, well, we have to have this meeting at this time. So I looked up, and it was like, from the time I got online to work to the time I logged off, it was just meetings back to back to back to back to back. In addition to,
I remember that.
In addition to a baby is a baby. Like, you can't be like, no, I have to work right now. You sound crazy. Like, a baby doesn't care or know about that, right? Like, expecting professionalism from a 5-month-old is crazy, where it's just like, can you please be quiet? I'm in a meeting right now. I need to know. So it was a lot for me with that. But just like as you said, just being able to support and have those conversations and help other moms. And as much as I thought that I was a type A, because I was like, yeah, when I come back, she will be asleep at this time. And I just swore, like, and no screen time and no this. Girl. And the only thing I like stuck onto when she was little, now I've completely lost that battle, but like the healthy foods. So I totally made all my own baby foods. I never bought like prepackaged baby food.
Same. I love that.
So I was able to at least do that. But then at a certain point, it's just like, who gave you Oreos? Like,
and she looking at you like, these are delicious, the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. And you're like, you know what? It is what it is.
You won. And now she's eating salt and vinegar chips and Oreos. And I'm like, oh
I love that. She's living. Her taste buds are dancing with joy.
So I totally get it. So if you could, right, if you had any words of advice or wisdom, say there's someone watching this right now who might be up at 1 o'clock in the morning in what I call like the newborn trenches, right? This just came up on autoplay on their TV or phone or computer, and they are tired, and the nights are the longest they've ever been. The days are the longest they've ever been. They just feel like they don't have a grasp on anything. What advice would you give that new mom that, you know, may be in a similar situation when you first started out?
Truly to give yourself grace, first and foremost. I know that this is a topic that is discussed a lot, but really giving yourself a grace. You've never been this person before. Also, lean in on family who wants to be there and support you. Don't feel like you need to do everything alone. Because for me, sleeping is my joy. I cannot lie. I do not play when it comes to my sleep. And that interruption of my sleep really had me delusional. So if you have family members that can come over and watch your child, even for a couple of hours, take a nap and put the dishes down. They can be done later. Put the clothes down. They can be folded later. If you are tired when your child takes a nap, mom, go take that nap. Everything else can be done later when the baby is up. Get as much rest as you can. Drink as much water as you can. Put something on the TV that is going to make you laugh just to find some joy again, right? This too shall pass. This stage shall pass. But I'm also wishing you the best and all the success in motherhood.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Someone told me, appreciate this time now where if you put her down, she could stay in the spot that you kept her in, because once she starts moving around.
Girl, you're speaking my language today. That's it. You got to get up and run. So I'm thinking about the stage really quickly that you said your stage was a potty training that you didn't like. Taylor's was run like I feel like 2.5. She just will just take. I'll be down the street like, oh my God. So yes, I agree with what you just said.
I never experienced that, and that like I've seen that because my daughter has been a Velcro baby from day one. So it's not like I can't leave a room. I can't even roll over and put my back to her in the bed, right? Like she's
like on you. and Taylor's the same, but I don't know, this running phase, like it lasted for like 6 months, but child,
it's scary. That is
got
scary.
Me together. I used to have to hold on to. Then I said, now I see why people had the little leashes, and I never wanted to be that parent. But she didn't have one. But I'm like, girl, you got to stay close to me. Anyway, no. I get it. But yes, I really appreciate you. I appreciate once again like your platform or what you're doing for moms, just giving us an outlet and letting other moms see that there are moms out there that still have their personality, that we want to see each other successful and, you know, mentally stable, emotionally stable, physically stable, that could be a next topic we talk about, how we get it to how we going to the gym, how we doing all these things. But we want to see each other excel in motherhood, you know. So thank you so much for creating this platform.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, you guys. This has been, every time I record an episode, I say, this has been my favorite episode thus far. But I really appreciate you. I just love everything, your energy, your passion for it. And the fact that we are Doula Sibs. I'm going to have all of your social media information here so they can follow you and support. Is there anything else you want anybody to know? Anything you have, coming? I know you have your 1 year anniversary coming up, and you're about to launch a new capsule collection that they should be on the lookout for.
Yes, and we're going to launch a new capsule collection at the end of January. Sorry, Jay. Okay. At the end of January, we're going to launch the new capsule collection where we'll start to bring in some spring pieces. So I'm looking into some items now. I'm seeing some things I love. I've also recently launched some t-shirts, Mommy Inspired. I'm wearing this one right now, this mom t-shirt. This is a Mom Nutritional Facts t-shirt. So I have some mommy t-shirts and sweatshirts and some hoodies, some fun things that go without saying, right? One of my favorite ones right now is Mind Your Own Motherhood. Only reason why I say that, okay, right, okay, so I don't need to say anything. But yes, but I have some really cool stuff on there. So take a look, support a mom that loves to support other moms. You know, when you uplift one, you uplift all. So let's continue to uplift each other. Yes.
Absolutely. I see the first ingredient on the top is unconditional love. That's
Unconditional love, the daily value. Yes. Hard work, 150%. Multitasking, 50 to 150%. Sleep, 0 to 15. Girl, I get 100%. I don't play with sleep. Regret, nah. And then it say percent daily values may differ based on the behavior of your child.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's how I feel about bedtime. Your bedtime, if you are getting on my nerves bad enough, you might go to bed at 6 o'clock.
I ain't mad at that. It's still light outside.
I don't care. Get in the bed. But if we having a fine day, a good time, then we can stretch it out a little bit, 7:30, 8 o'clock. But if it is just like, I don't know what's going on with you today, then it's time for your day to be over and we'll start again tomorrow. That's my policy.
I'm with you, girl.
Well, thank you guys again for joining. Make sure you follow both of us and subscribe to the channel. I am Dana the Doula again. This is Ariane. And this has been another amazing episode of Mom Friend Energy. Take care, you guys.
Take care.